Look, it is no secret that Jamal Adams, arguably the best safety in the NFL, wants out of New York. He doesn't like the Jets, he wants out. He's kind of made it clear before, so he's definitely a player who has a chance to be traded. And, like every fan base, anytime a big name player is essentially on the trade block, I guess, every fan of that team, or most fans of that team, want their team to trade for that star player. And with the Texans, it is no different. Texans fans, a good chunk of them have been saying, let's go get Jamal Adams for the longest time. And earlier yesterday, Jamal Adams tweeted out, Houston, I love you. So that kind of, got Texans fans riled up again. Let's go get Jamal Adams. Is Jamal Adams, talking about something that we don't know about? Is Houston doing something behind the scenes to go get Jamal Adams? But I mean, this literally can be anything. Like, it could be anything. Like, maybe he's talking about Justin Houston from the Colts. Like, maybe they were out in dinner eating and Justin Houston paid for his meal. Or maybe he was down in Houston and he had a nice empanada and, he's like, man, that empanada's so good. So he loves Houston because, there's some good empanadas in Houston. Like, it could literally mean anything. I don't think it means that, the Texans are going to go rescue him or anything. But if it did, that'd be pretty cool. But I don't think it means that. So I wouldn't get too excited just yet. But you know what? Since it is the off season, since there's not much going on, I'm gonna entertain that idea, and I'm just gonna go with it just for fun. It's just a little fun video for today, I guess. So, what would it take to get Jamal Adams? A first round pick and some change, I would assume. So, maybe a first round pick and a third round pick. Do the Texans have that? No, they don't. But other Texans fans have been suggesting other things like J.J. Watt for Jamal Adams. Now, J.J. Watt for Jamal Adams, personally, I am not a fan of trading a player for a player at a position of need. So yes, you fix your safety hole that you have opposite Justin Reed, but you also create another hole at pass rush. So you can't trade J.J. Watt. I've also heard Will Fuller and a pick for Jamal Adams. Now, Will Fuller, I'm not sure Will has much trade value because he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Now, the Jets, they do need a wide receiver, but I don't think they'll take Will Fuller. Now, other people have said Kenny Stills and a pick. Now, maybe that's possible that they take that one, but here's the thing. It's kind of similar to the Watt thing. You're filling a hole, but creating another hole, and personally, I am not a fan of that, because let's be honest. Do you trust Will Fuller to stay healthy? No. You shouldn't. I don't. I don't trust Will to stay healthy, so Kenny Stills is the backup. Because look, if you look at our current wide receivers, I guess counting the 7 main ones, DeAndre Carter, he's probably, hopefully, going to get cut. So that makes it 6. Isaiah Coulter, he's probably going to get IR stashed. So that makes it 5. Your 5 are Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Kenny Stills, and Kiki QT. Those are probably going to be your 5 wide receivers on the final 53-man roster. Now, Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller are your starting outside receivers, and Randall Cobb is your starting slot receiver, and Kenny Stills is the backup outside receiver, and he can play in the slot in a pinch if we need him to. So, Kenny Stills is Will Fuller's backup, as well as Brandon Cook's backup, and Kiki QT is the backup of Randall Cobb, if that makes sense. So, if you trade away Kenny Stills, you lose a great depth player who should really be a starter, who could really be a starter in almost any other team, if we're being honest, because Kenny Stills is a good player. So, yeah, you're losing him, and then what happens when Will Fuller goes down? Yeah, we're right back to square one. Because Kiki QT, he can't play outside. Randall Cobb, he can't play outside. Isaiah Coulter, you can't trust a rookie to play outside? Nah. So I think Kenny Stills is someone that you need right now. I think you need Kenny Stills. You can't afford to trade him away. Now another one I've heard is Justin Reed and a pick for Jamal Adams. Now, I am not a fan of that one either because we'd be swapping our young stud safety for another young stud safety. I mean, yeah, Jamal Adams is better, but that's not the end of it all. You're also giving up an extra pick to get Jamal Adams. And yes, you're upgrading the safety position, a little bit, but you still have a whole opposite Jamal Adams. Like you're pretty much in square one, except you lost a pick. Yeah, you got slightly better. Not only that, you got to pay him way more because Jamal Adams, I believe I'm not mistaken, he makes $7 million this year and then $9 million the following year, or close to $10 million the following year due to the fifth-year option. So Justin Reed is way cheaper than Jamal Adams, and you really wouldn't be improving the team all that much. So trading Justin Reed and a pick for Jamal Adams doesn't make sense to me on the Texans' part. Now, if it's on the Jets' part, I think it makes a little sense because they get a pick and they get a safety who's also young and cheaper. So, yeah, the Jets would be fleecing us in that situation. Now, I guess you can kind of get where I'm going with this. Like, the Texans trading for Jamal Adams is, just wishful thinking. It really is because there is really no way we can get Jamal Adams. Like, we'd have to give up a bunch, like a third-round pick this year, followed by a first-round pick in 2022, I believe. Yeah, 2022 draft. And probably throw in a third-round pick in 2022 as well because, obviously they would prefer to have the pick in 2021 draft. But since we don't have that, because we traded for Laramie Tunsil, great trade, by the way, so they'd have to wait another year, and we'd probably have to throw in another pick because of that. So essentially, it would mean the Texans would go 3 straight years without a first-round pick, and I am also not a fan of that. Not only that, you put yourself in a situation where now you got to pay 2 young stud safeties, Justin Reed and Jamal Adams, and honestly, that is not a situation that I think we can afford right now with Deshaun's contract coming up, and also we got Zach Cunningham there waiting for his deal as well. So we just cannot afford it from whatever angle you look at it. It just doesn't make sense for the Texans because we don't have the assets to acquire a player of Jamal Adams' caliber, and we do not have the cap space to afford Jamal Adams long term. So if you were to trade for Jamal Adams, it would only be a 2-year rental, 3 years max if you're trying to keep Justin Reed instead of Jamal Adams. Now, you could be mean to Justin Reed and be like, bye. But, Justin Reed, I think he is the future of the secondary. I think he's the leader of the secondary. I think he's becoming a leader on this team. So, I don't want to do that. And don't get me wrong, Jamal Adams is an amazing player, arguably the best safety in the NFL. And if he was on the Texans, believe me, he would do wonders for this defense. Him and Justin Reed would be easily the best safety duo in the NFL because they're both safeties that can do it all. They're not, this guy's just a box safety. Oh, this guy can only play deep and he can't tackle. No, Jamal Adams and Justin Reed can both do it all. So, the things that you'd be able to do with them, disguise blitzes, disguise coverages. You can line them up everywhere. And, Jamal Adams, he's very physical, so he could literally play him in the box too, and he'll light up dudes. He don't care. But like I said, that's just all wishful thinking. Him tweeting out Houston, I love you could be anything random. It could be anything. Like maybe he was just in Houston, like I said. It doesn't mean that the Texans went to go rescue him. I highly doubt that the Texans would get Jamal Adams. It just doesn't make sense for them. It doesn't. And if they do get him, I'd probably be happy because he's a really good player. And like I said, he'd fit in so well. And him and Justin Reed would make an absolutely amazing safety duo. But that's just wishful thinking. Like, it's not gonna happen, but hey, it's the off season and there's not much to do. There's no sports around, so might as well have a fun little discussion. So comment down below your own opinion on this. What do you think Jamal Adams meant when he said, Houston, I love you? And comment down below if you would like Jamal Adams on this team, like in a perfect world. And then also comment down below what you think it would realistically take to get Jamal Adams. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.